Welcome to SailGP Extra. Pay attention, man, we're on screen. I'm here with Jody Shields, the oracle of SailGP, the man with a black belt in bull. Excuse me.
Yes, hello, mate. That cough was very, very well timed. How are you?
Just unfortunate, something in my throat.
How you doing, mate? How was that?
It was fantastic. I've got to say, even as a Brit, I enjoyed the redemption of Australia today.
Yeah, it was really cool to see Tommy and the boys get back into that final. It's such a shame that it panned out the way it was. I would have loved to have seen them really fine racing in that dogfight.
Okay, let's take you back. First question we got in today is, what did Australia do differently today to yesterday?
Reset. I think they come out reset, had a good hard look at themselves last night. And, they're no slouches, as we know, because they're season one winners. And I just think they thought, right, we know how to do this, boys. And it looked a different boat. They were attacking this different today, and it looked fast, and they got themselves into the final and unfortunately missed out on the bickies at the end.
Lisa made the point in the broadcast that they'd done that exactly the same thing in San Francisco. They messed up on the first day and they messed up in Marseille on the first day. And then that almost fires Tom up and he's like, ooh, he needs that red mist.
It actually had a lot of feel about San Fran where Japan dominated. Remember, they dominated every race and Australia come through and won, and they was really emotional about how, about the win. And I said during our little call, I said, this has got that feel about it, Tommy's got bashed by Ben all weekend, and now he's in the final. If they win this, mate, they'll take the roof off the joint, but, unfortunately it didn't happen. So, anyway, well done to the Team GB, mate. They dominated the weekend. Well, can't take that off them.
You've segued perfectly into the second question. Did you expect Ben Ainslie to dominate so emphatically?
I didn't expect him to dominate. You'd have to be a lunatic to think they wouldn't go well with just who's on the boat. They've got a season under their belt, all, from the wing guy through to Parko in the grinder, through to the actual grinding places. They all sailed last year. Then you throw Ben Ainslie, four-time Olympic gold medalist, and he's no slouch on the wheel. He's sailed these things before. So you knew they were going to go well. You just knew they were going to go well. I didn't expect them to dominate.
And I just asked him, I interviewed him now and said to him, okay, did you expect to dominate? He said, no, not like that. Because he knows the calibre of sailor that are here, but we watched him, and I think it was you said it to me, the way that Parko and Goobs were flying those hulls, especially yesterday when there was so many puffs, so many lulls, those big potholes that you were talking about, and those hulls just stayed level.
Yeah, their platform was level all day. You watched them around. Everyone else was up and down in jibes, putting bows in and, screwing a few things up. I don't think I've seen, apart from that little start on the last fleet race, I don't think that I've seen them make a mistake.
They still climb back up into fourth.
I know, they were so far behind on that fourth race. I thought they were actually keeping clean because basically we were told, if they had a DSQ, they wouldn't have made the, potentially wouldn't make the final. So we thought, they're being smarty, they're hanging back and they'll just go and, stay away from the fleet. But no, they buggered it up. But
all the championship points are accumulative,
correct,
aren't they?
Yeah,
I suddenly clicked about 10 seconds after they'd done it. I was like, he wouldn't have done that on purpose.
Yeah, but. Well, that was the thing. We thought, well, do you sacrifice a couple of points for the overall win here? And then they know they got boat speed and they got back to fourth. I actually said, if there was another lap, don't be surprised if they win it. They were going so fast.
Do you sacrifice a couple of points to stay out of Phil Robertson's way?
Yes. Short answer, yes.
He nearly had him in the first race, powering out there. And he's tried to close the door and Ben just puffed out his chest.
Yeah, Phil's got the Dodgem car licence this year, I think. He's going to have to watch him because I think he thinks he's got big buffers down the whole side of that thing at the moment. He is the interim skipper and he's treating it like, I don't know, good on him. Yeah, it's bringing some excitement to the joint.
That's his little rental car for the season, isn't it? Okay, who impressed you the most out of the newcomers?
Spain are fast.
With Phil, they're the most exciting team 100%. With Phil at the helm.
Denmark just seem like they're just a click off the pace and they're a young team. But they just seem like they just, which is funny.
But so are the Spanish.
The Spanish in the practice, they won one of the practice races earlier on in the week, and the Danish were up there. But the Denmark team just look a little bit rusty, I guess, and that's understandable. It's their first series.
The proof's in the pudding for the Spanish team, though, because they are on that new wing, and the twist control on that is a lot faster. So there's a bit of an advantage there. Yeah. You've got to temper that performance. With that.
And you can't bounce off boats and cause chaos and expect to do any good. So they'll learn by that. You know, they're too smart not to. And, you know, coming into San Fran, where it's going to be windy, I think there will be boats giving Phil Robertson a little bit of room. I would be. If Phil's down there, I'm up there.
Okay, so
that'd be the way I'd run it.
Spain impressed you. Who didn't impress you?
Unfortunately, Billy, the French, you know, they seem like the old habits from last year are still there, you know, and whether it's good luck, bad luck, I don't know. You know, it's...
I called him the bad luck sponge.
Yeah.
Because I honestly think the way he attacked that first race, first round, the first mark...
And then his jib blows out. You know, but how good was that? He kept racing. He had nothing in the last fleet race. He had nothing to gain by it, but he kept going. So it's kudos to him to do that. But yeah, I don't know. Billy looks like the French looks like the same French from last year. You know, they have moments of brilliance and then
peppered with mistakes.
Yeah, and you know, they have got a slightly different team. They've got a new flight controller on. Maybe they're learning each other, but. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going the French.
I was on the feed last night looking at all the details of all of the boats and the GoPros of Billy's crash with Phil Robertson. I've got fairly decent French, but I learned some new words off Billy.
I think bugger might have been one of them.
I think he's a bit stronger
The
than
grinder
that.
was very lucky. He didn't lose his hand trying to push the boat
Did you
off.
see that?
Yeah, that was a bit crazy.
I think one of the shore crew boys had to have a word with him. It's like one of the safety divers.
Yeah.
Like, there's a guillotine under that hull that's going to chop you. Like, if you go and look at
Check
this
the
on
footage out. It's
on
really,
the French Instagram, the guy's he keeps his fingers in, bless him. He puts his fist up, but it's the grinder mentality. He's just like
2.5 ton of boat coming at me. I'll just push this off with my forearm and keep grinding. You know, you see the wing guy. He just ducks into his little hole. Says, "I'm out of here." No, not the grinder, mate. We're big and tough.
You know, I'm pretty convinced the wing trimmer, the big hole that came just into that side of the cockpit, it would have hit right next to him. He would have got a hell of a bump.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be expecting that. You know, you think, I'll go down to my little safety zone. Next minute, something gets poked in through the hull and you go, woohoo. So, yeah, they dodged a bullet there.
Okay, next races, we go to the US for 2 stops.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Rome Kirby this season?
Yeah, Rome's similar, you know. He, once again, moments of brilliance. Unfortunately, he was leading a race there yesterday. You know, couldn't quite get the jibing, got a little bit excited. And it smells of last year a little bit, you know. And he's got a new team, you know, or different members in the team, sort of scattergunned through. But, you know, Rome would be very disappointed holding the wooden spoon from last year. And he gets 2 shots at home races. You know, we got San Fran, then we go to New York. So he's got a bit of pressure on him to perform, I reckon, Rome.
The hard bit of that is you've got 2 yes, they're home venues, but they're completely different venues. You've got one of the most consistent wind suppliers in San Fran, where you can race along that harbour wall 20 metres away from the spectators.
Yeah.
And then you've got that insane, gusty, tight, busy stretch of water on the Hudson in New York.
Yeah, exactly there. And, you know, if he can get a good result out of San Fran, you know, Rome, and you know, he'll get confidence and take him into New York. But yeah, I really do think the pressure will be on for him to pull something out of the bag for San Francisco.
Okay, official cut bait time for Rome Kirby. Looking at the bigger picture, this is the last question. Looking at the bigger picture, start of season 2, what's got you excited?
A pie cost.
What's it? A pie cost?
About $2.50 at the local bakery. What's got me excited, mate? What's got me excited about the new season? The fact that we've got another boat in, and the fact, focus, mate. Focus, we're on SailGP Extra.
Terrible.
Be professional. We've got another boat, mate, and that's got me excited. The fact that everyone's raised their level has got me excited. You know, when I say everyone, you know, we're just talking about how Billy and all that are down, but the whole fleet is up, if that makes any sort of sense. You know, the intensity, you've got to be at 100%. If you're not at 100%, you're backdoored. Where last year you could probably run about 85 to 90% and still get around. Not this year.
Did you see the graphics on the broadcast today? They were showing ride heights. And they basically said you've got to be up and above. You've got to be 80 centimetres and above if you want to be competitive now.
Yeah, here we can get away with that. San Fran will be a different story, especially when the tide starts ripping out.
Everyone's going to sit down and just tuck
when it
it
gets
up.
tight and a bit more chop, you know, you won't be seeing them fly 80 centimetres there. Or if they do, you'll see a few pitch bowls.
Okay, Jody, thank you so much
Mate,
for your expertise.
SailGP Extra is rocking. I love it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. That's been the event here in Sydney. Join us for the rest of the season starting in San Francisco, first weekend in May.